Hey everybody, call me Felix. Last time on the program, we were on the gloriously beautiful Saud Beach in Pagudpud, making something of a business trip in covering the Mercato Ni Nanay Ces night market pop-up, featuring around 80 vendors in total, more than half of which sold street food. My assistant Warren, however, had a hot date with destiny, but was left with his hand on the hot burner, as Warren valiantly went down in 10 rounds of gladiatorial combat right before the habanero round, in the hottest chili eating contest the northern Philippines had ever seen to this point. Meanwhile, our good friend Chris of Smoke Restaurant in Poway emerged victorious in Ilocos Norte's first ever chili eating contest. And for all his trouble, he also won a 1,000 peso gift certificate to his own restaurant. Nice work, Chris. As the fiery late afternoon gave way to a sunset Shakespeare himself would have identified as a majestical roof fretted with pinkish fire, it was time to indulge in the magnificent street food, or more accurately, beachside food of Ilocos Norte. However, yours truly wasn't feeling very peckish, and was just content to graze at a few selective stalls. I even passed up on the not one, but two stalls carving up whole roast pig, or lechon, and you know something's a bit amiss with me when I refuse some fatty pork cracklings. Besides, I already tried several of the vendors present at the Saud Beach event in other night market pop-ups. You can check out my street food playlist to see what local Ilocano concessions I've tried in the past events by clicking away on the right-hand corner. Now then, in this video, the first night of the Mercato Ni Nanay Ces pop-up on Saud Beach, we just tried 3 stalls, with the first 2 run by 2 familiar people to the vlog. First, we had to support our newly crowned chili king in the north, Chris, and his restaurant Smoke, and take a couple of crowd-pleasing dishes that would satisfy a Filipino and American palate alike. Second, we had to visit cousin JP, but not for corn dogs, as JP is also into deep-fried desserts, the likes you see at an American carnival back home. And I had eyes and taste buds set only for deep-fried New York-style cheesecake. And the last spot we hit was an up-and-coming cafe from the Blue Lagoon side of Pagudpud, called the Zephyr Cafe, making some wonderful Filipino, Western, and even Indian dishes. I had one of their samosas off camera and returned later that night to try their trio of Filipino-Mexican street tacos, featuring not the usual carnitas or carne asada, but some interesting combinations of lengua, pork jowl, and pulpo, with local Filipino ingredients you wouldn't think belong on tacos. Did someone say alukon salad back there? So watch till the end of the video, as there are some interesting revelations on the way. Buckle up and here we go. Whoa, Chris, what in the world? Why is the line so short? I thought your newfound popularity from winning the chili contest
right? I guess
would get you customers.
It doesn't translate to that, I guess.
All right, man. Can I get a burger steak rice bowl and pulled pork sandwich?
Sure.
All right. I'm customer number 2, aside from my dad. Customer number 1.
We've had more customers, but it's the only customers right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, guys. So the first food item of the first night here at the Mercato, here in Pagudpud, we're gonna have a burger steak rice from Chris, who of course won the first ever Ilocos Norte chili eating contest. So I'm making history, I think, too. And this is some burger steak. I mean, who doesn't love burger steak, especially here in the Philippines? And plenty of rice. This beef smells good. I mean, it smells like USDA quality beef. And it's got mushroom peppercorn gravy. I'm salivating. That beef, nicely peppery all throughout. The gravy, just appropriately rich. Yeah, I love a burger steak that tastes beefy. Lots of rice, lots of mushroomy gravy. I still held in check because it's all about the beef. Look at that beef. It almost has like an aniseed taste to it too. So it's almost like biting into a good sausage in a way and having it over rice. And this here is a pulled pork sandwich. Now, I've had Chris's pulled pork before, but it was on a platter. I want it on some bread. Oh, and there's some lettuce on here too, with some barbecue sauce. And of course it doesn't skimp. Look at all that pulled pork left behind. I think I got mine with the barbecue sauce. But I think what I really like is like more of like that apple vinegar acidity. So I think I should have gotten this with the North Carolina mustard sauce. I think that would have completed it for me. So that was my bad though. But this is a little sweeter. It still has some acidity. I think I want more of that apple vinegar acidity. So I think we're off to a good start. This is like American comfort food. Real American comfort food too. For an American palate. Not just saying that because Chris won his chili contest too. All right. Oh, thank you. Wow, deep fried cheesecake. That deep fried cheesecake looks like, and of course, you know, now I've done already Chris's stall right over there, our good friend Chris. So now I'm doing my cousin's JP stall for dessert. Now, of course, from our Kurimao episode, I told you he was doing corn dogs. But he does dessert too. Deep fried cheesecake. This is New York style cheesecake. Deep fried and such. So, cousin JP runs a carnival. As you can see here, a neatly run carnival. There's JP right there. You can see his back there. All right. So, this is our deep fried cheesecake. And I fell in love with the concept of a deep fried cheesecake when I heard JP was doing one. So I have super high hopes about this. Because to be honest with you, when he said deep fried candy bar, I wasn't feeling it. But this, I love the idea of the cold creaminess and then the fried texture there. With the strawberry coulis on there. Ooh la la. Every time you have French in there, I mean, it's fancy. You know, it's fancy and it's sexy. That's the way it works, people. So here you go. Deep fried cheesecake. And then some strawberry coulis. Ooh. Wait, JP is going to put some whipped cream all over that body. Thanks, JP. Okay. So JP put some whipped cream on here to complete the sensation. There we are. Look at that cheesecake like melting like that. Such a contrast of texture and kind of a contrast of temperature too. That chilled cheesecake with that warm like cornmeal dough and then or pancake dough and then the strawberry coulis and the whipped cream. Such a contrast of like textures and temperatures. And I love that JP put some confectioner sugar here because it kind of completes the twang from the cheesecake, that cream cheese twang, that pancake batter. It almost tastes like having cheesecake with like pancakes or French toast in the morning with that whipped cream. That's what it tastes like. I just love that it's nice and light in the middle and creamy. Feels like having a really decadent like French toast pancakes in the morning with your cheesecake. Exactly it. And then graham cracker crust adds a little like a caramel sweetness, a little bit of bitterness, just a wee bit that's detectable. Kind of puts everything in check. Yeah, it feels like breakfast and dessert put together. It's like the closest thing to getting funnel cake. Oh, I miss funnel cake. But funnel cake is a different beast altogether because of the... It just tastes like the most awesome fried donut you've ever had in your life. This is the next best thing. And you better believe I'm finishing this. This is really dang good. Best dessert item JP came up with too. That's just, you know, dessert was always supposed to give you like the final sweet note of the night. I think this made me want to eat some more food. So let's see what we're gonna come up with next as we explore the Mercato. I am here at Zephyr. So JP, cousin JP, made friends with these guys while doing his urban corn dog thing. So we're trying out, he said the samosas are awesome, so that's why we're here. And they have street food tacos. Oh, I've been dying to have street food tacos because we don't get that here. Alukon solid? Wow, that's super unique. That is super cool.
For the pork jowl, we put some green mango ensalada. That's very Filipino.
Yeah.
Great with it too.
Well, I really love that sort of Filipino-Mexican sort of thing. I love it.
We try to
Street tacos. Yeah, that sounds awesome. All right, and you can have a glass of wine with this.
Yep, for sure.
So this is like a soft drinking red here, easy drinking red. Yeah, it goes down real too smooth. And of course, really good when chilled as well.
Yep, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Plus with this heat.
Yeah, plus with this heat. It's like having like buttery plums.
Yeah.
With extra butter. I smell taste of butter. All right, we're gonna try the tacos from Zephyr now. So, I said these are can't miss, and JP said to me, cousin JP says they make good stuff, especially their samosas. So here we are trying them. I'm having a trio of tacos. There are, there's some lengua here. There's some pork jowl, and I think in the middle there's some pulpo or octopus. Or actually, maybe I got them mixed up. So you know what? I'll just take the one in the middle. There we go. I think this is some... oh, I think it looks like lengua to me. And he was telling me this is a Filipino-Mexican kind of concoction. So it looks like some alukon in here. So alukon is kind of like a unique indigenous vegetable here in Ilocos Norte. Or I think in Ilocos or in the Philippines in general. But it's generally in Ilocos. And it's kind of like a cross between... well, it's kind of hard to explain, but like a chalky type of Brussels sprout and broccoli kind of put together. There's like a nice little like crispness, like the char on the outside of that pork jowl. And the alukon gives it a lot of freshness. It takes on more of like a leafy taste and texture to me with this kind of salsa. Kind of very fresh green tasting. It really plays well with kind of like the... it's almost as if it has like a umami, like a bean sort of thing going for it too. A certain je ne sais quoi. Well, to put together, it tastes like a Mexican street taco, but in many ways it's not. But I really like the texture of that meat there. It kind of takes on like like there's a little bit of a gristly crisp texture there, kind of as if it had a skin. And then, you know, like the char from the grill, that kind of taste or that kind of texture, the crispness that comes from that. And then this alukon, you put it in other dishes, it kind of takes on a more chalky kind of texture. It does not here, and it's almost like unlike it in some way. Because it's almost creamy, as if it's like salsa crema. And then there's the freshness from the cilantro that tilts that alukon a different way, I think. It makes it like more leafy, like a leafy green vegetal flavor and a texture I don't expect out of it. And next I'm gonna try this pork jowl. Looks like some cheese, like strands of cheese. There's some tomato, there's some cilantro, or some fresh onions. This I like. The fattiness from that jowl, the juiciness is right on point. Not too much, not overbearing. And then you get that nice charring, adding some texture, but it's still juicy. Yeah. And then the supporting ingredients kind of add lend more of a richness and, you know, a little bit of freshness, but really doesn't take away from the richness of that meat. So that pork jowl taco, really, really good. Not out of place at all in any like, and this is me, the California boy from LA, that's talking here, that has had some really good Mexican food, and I think JP, Texas boy who's had really good Mexican food too, can probably vouch for this too. And this is quite good. I have to try it with this red here. It's very, cheers, easy to drink. It's very buttery too. Buttery and very mellow. And chilled, of course, on a hot, humid night. Even better. Last thing to try is the pulpo, or the octopus taco. But yeah, that pork jowl taco, I wish I saved that for last. Let's see if this pulpo can really round things out in the shape for us, or really close things out for us. It's a little bit soggy because of all the juice that's come out. That pulpo, there's like a slight, and you need a little bit of tomato to accent some sweetness there. It doesn't taste fishy. It's pretty firm, it's pretty tender. I'm getting a little more cilantro sharpness out of this too. Even though the dressing's practically the same, I think this one jumps out a little more with the cilantro. And there's a bit of creaminess to that too. So in all, those tacos do not disappoint. They are. I mean, if you told me you can get Mexican street tacos in Ilocos that you can kind of put on a pedestal kind of close to what you can get in Mexico or in the States, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have laughed you out of the building. But this is a very more than respectable effort. It's really good. That pork jowl taco for me gets the highest marks. That lengua too is pretty good. That especially surprising because that alukon takes on a different texture and taste that I'm used to. So it's almost like a leafy salad, a light leafy salad rather than something that's heavy and chalky from like you get in a brow. So I love the fusion of Filipino and Mexican ingredients and technique. And this is probably one of the more promising street food stalls I've come across. Honestly saying that. I think this and Walk Lane, for me, we're like the vanguard of really good street food up here. Alright, and that concludes night 1 of the Mercato Ni Nanay Ces on Saud Beach in Pagudpud. I didn't get to feature as many stalls as I had wanted because I didn't have the stomach for it, unfortunately, but what we got was high quality all around. There wasn't anything serious for me to nitpick with Chris's offerings at Smoke, the deep fried cheesecake from Cousin JP, and with Zephyr's trio of tacos. The bite of the night, however, if I had to pick one, had to go to the pork jowl taco with the green mango salsa and pepino, as all the ingredients worked in harmony without taking away from the lusciousness and almost flawless texture of the pork jowl. Hats off to Zephyr, and hopefully we can head over to their restaurant over at the Blue Lagoon sometime soon. And next time we're on the show, we're back at it for night 2 of the Mercato. Once again, we're stressing quality over quantity again, with the last 3 stalls we visited that weekend. First, we spot a stand selling some bar snacks or pulutan to go with our late afternoon beers. And they had the kind of pulutan that for some reason you don't find that often here in Ilocos Norte. Chicharron bulaklak, fried chicken butt, and even fried one-day-old chicken. It was my first time to try the one-day-olds, and I found them to be, well, quite surprising. Was it good or bad? This stall also sold carne asada fries, which heightened my expectations for finding carne asada fries as good as back home. Were they as good as they looked on the picture? Also, there's something else we purchased from this pulutan stall that wound up being the best tasting thing we got from there. Can you figure out from the menu what that was? In addition, we visit a premium coffee stall selling some terrific craft beer. And as a craft beer aficionado in a past life, it was great to find some tasty suds on the malty side too. Lastly, we visited our friend Noor, who you might recall is the mad scientist chili farmer and MC of the chili eating contest the day before. We had a long chat about, the kinds of existentially deep subjects you discuss with chili farmers, like chili farming or their chili farm or their chili sauces or Katz's Deli New York style pastrami, brined and smoked in Carolina Reaper sauce, those kinds of profound topics normal people don't broach. Anyway, Noor is also a pitmaster enthusiast, and he made Warren and I some Carolina Reaper smoked beef brisket sandwiches with some interesting pickles and baked beans on the side. Did we find some painfully delicious American-style barbecue? Or were we unlike the seasons, the sun, the wind, or the rain, and feared the Reaper anyway? Don't miss out on our next video to find out. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, as that truly helps. And better yet, please subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications when more of our food travel related adventures release, so you don't miss a single one. Until then, keep cool but care, and remember, the empire never ended.